Functions is of mainly two types. One is built-in functions and one is what? The user-defined functions. Built-in functions is a ready-made function. As I told you already, it is been there where it will save the time for the programmer. While a function is a grouping of the instructions, a module is a grouping of the functions. But what happens in a global variable? It can be accessed everywhere, anywhere in the program. Hello everyone, myself Jayashree Chandru, Department in Computer Science, Vidyashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Welcome back to the session 1, Chapter 7, Functions. So let us see what are the topics covered under this session. Introduction to the functions we will be discussing. Next, user-defined functions and scope of a variable, Python standard library. Let us discuss one by one. The introduction to the functions. Let us discuss what exactly the functions means, which is a very quite interesting topic where the programming is being sub-programmed and it is being reduced the complexity into the smaller units. All these things like will be discussing. So let us see the introduction to the functions. Large programs are often difficult to manage. It is a bulky. So the large programs which is divided into the smaller units is known as what? Functions. So it is simply the group of the statements under any name, that is the function name, which can be invoked or invited or called from other part of a program is also known as functions. So let us take one example here. Here I have taken an example of the school management. So school management software, now this software will contain a various tasks like registering a student, fees collection, it may be the marks list, the profile of the student and many other tasks it will be there like library book issue, TC generation, result declaration, etc. So in this case we have to create a different kinds of functions for each task to manage the software development. So this is a small example how exactly and what exactly the functions means here I have taken. So now set of functions is stored in a file which we called as a module, and in this approach we will call that particular as a modularization. Makes a program easier, understand, test and maintain is nothing but your modularity. So, commonly used modules which contain a source code for a generic reason, we call that as what? The libraries. Next, modules will contain a set of functions and the functions are mainly of two types. Which are the two types? That is a built-in and the user-defined functions are the two main types of functions. I repeat it. Functions is of mainly two types. One is built-in functions and one is what? The user-defined functions. When the complex program or a bulky program, when we reduce it to the sub-program to make it more modularity, reducibility, simple and very much like what we call modules which is stored in a file. We call that as a module is nothing but your modularization. So now let us understand the advantages of the function before we discuss about the syntax or a keyword of the function. So why we need a function? What is the advantages of a function? That is program handling is very easier. As I told you, only a small part of the program is being dealt at a time and it is a reduced what we call LOC. Large programs can be coded into a simple one with the function of the common set of code written only once and it can be called from any part of a program which can be reduce the complexity of the program. And line of the code what we call is easy in updating. Example, if the function is not used then the set of code what we call it is to be repeated everywhere and it is required. So hence, if we want to change in any kind of formula or expression, then we have to make changes in the every place if we have forgotten, and the output will not be the desired output. But with the help of the function, we have to make the changes only in one location. That is a feature of the function. Why exactly the function is needed. So these are like some of the advantages of the function. Now let us see the types of the function. As I told you, it has two types, that is built-in functions and the user-defined function. So now let us discuss one by one what exactly the built-in functions means and what exactly the user-defined functions means. So user-defined function, what do you mean by a user-defined function? It is a quite new word. So function is a set of the statements which performs a particular task or a specific task, a common structuring elements which allows you to use a piece of code repeatedly in different part of the program, and that functions are also known as what? A subroutine or subprograms, methods, it may be the procedures, or a subprogram is nothing but your user-defined functions. So now let us understand the syntax that is to create a user-defined function. Def is a keyword what I am using that we call as a function keyword. Here you can see the function name and the comma separator. You can see how the syntax is here. Def is a keyword and function name, comma separated with the list of the parameters. I'll be explaining what exactly the parameters and what is the arguments in my next upcoming slides. So function header and set of instruction to be executed and the return value. What do you mean by a return value also in the program I'll be discussing. So this is the syntax of the user-defined function. Def is a function keyword what we are using here. So in the next slide, like here you can see the function header always ends with what? The colon. So this is a colon symbol. It's not a semicolon, it is a colon symbol. So function name should be unique. Rules for naming an identifier is also apply for the function naming also. Like when we discussed in the chapter 6, what is the rules for identifiers when we are using an identifier? Same rule it will apply for the function also when we are naming a function. So the statements outside the function indentation are not considered as a part of the function. So we all discussed in our previous sessions, that is what you mean by a indentation. So the statements outside the function indentation are not considered as a part of the function. So what is the arguments and a parameters? So what exactly you mean by a parameter and the arguments? An argument is a value which we pass to the function during a function call which is received for the correspondence parameter defined in the function, or the function header is known as your argument. Then what is a parameter? Is a variable listed inside the parenthesis when we are defining a function, or function definition is known as parameter. I repeat it, the parameter is a variable listed inside the parenthesis in the function definition, is nothing but your parameter, and argument is a value which we pass to the function during the function call, or when the function is invoked, we call that as what? The argument. So let us see with one example program. Here I have taken, write a program using a user-defined function that accepts an integer and increments the value by 5. It is a simple one example I have taken, like how exactly like the user-defined function has to be written and with the arguments and the parameter. Here you can see the def is a function keyword, increment value and the num, that is num is a parameter. So you can see what is num? Num is a parameter. And here like num before the increment, that is num before the increment, why it has written in the hash? It is just to give a remark or a comment or to make you understand what exactly it is. So print parameter num has the value and the ID num before the increment, and num is equal to num plus 5, like num after the increment. Num is what? The parameter, what I am passing it. So print num incremented by 5, and number is int, input function I am using. As in my previous sessions, I taught you like how to use the input function, like that same. And ID of the number and increment value of the number. This is what we call as a return value. So this is a simple program to make you understand how the user defined function, the syntax, and what is a parameter and the argument. So in the next slide, we will see the what is the output we will get. So what is a program exactly here? Define function increments the value by 5. So if I give number 8, for the example, num incremented by 5. So 5, when it is incremented by 8, then it is a 13. So this is the output of the previous program. You can see here the incremented the value by 5 and 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 5 times it will be incremented and the value is 13 as the output. When the 5 times when it is incremented, which number? The number is 8. You can give any number. So here next topic is about string as a parameter. So what is a string? As we all discussed, like what is a string, how to pass a string in a function, and string as a parameter. So in some programs, user may need to pass a string values as an arguments. All these, like in the previous slide you have seen, we have passed the integer parameter, that is a num. So here when I want to pass a string values as the argument, so how it can be done? Again, def is a keyword function, full name first and the last, and full name first when it increments, the last hello and the full name and first input. So the output will be like first name I'll give as Gyan and last name I'll give as Vardhan and hello Gyan Vardhan. So the string parameters or the string values I have passed here by using the full name first and the last. So one thing you can observe here, like where exactly we are passing a string parameters or a string values as arguments, first comma last, and everything is within the quotes, inverted quotes, like first plus and the last. So within the inverted quotes and the full name, print hello full name, that is the output statement. First enter the first name, last enter the first name, that is the last name and the first name, and full name, that is first comma last. That is what the return value I am giving. So here you can see enter first name Gyan, enter last name Vardhan, hello Gyan Vardhan. Functions returning a value. A function may or may not return a value when it is called or when it is invoked. A return statement returns the value from the function. The return statement will do the following. What exactly the return statement will do? That is, returns the control to the calling function. Return value, like return value, whatever we represent here, or the none. It do the following, like returns the control to the calling function, return value. Let us understand by one simple program. Def is a function keyword, as you all know that define addition, that is n1 comma n2. Here I am adding two numbers, that is n1 and n2 are the two variables what I am taking, and values will be stored in that, and I'll get the result which is stored in the sum. So return sum. So return sum is like whatever the returning function. So num1 input statement, num2 input statement, enter the first number and enter the second number. Here you can observe that result is equal to addition, num and num2, print result. So what happens here in this return statement, it goes back to the result and it gives you the result. So that is about the function returning a value. Now let us understand what is the scope of a variable in a function. So the part of the program where the variable is accessible and can be defined as a scope of that particular variable. A variable can have one of the following as two scopes, that is, one is global variable and one is local variable. So what exactly the global and the local variable? Let us understand. Global variable in Python, a variable that is defined outside any of the function or any block is known as what? The global variable. I repeat it, global variable in Python is a variable that is defined outside any function or any block is known as what? A global variable. It can be accessed in any functions defined onwards. After we define, it can be accessed globally throughout the program. Any change made to the global variable will impact all the functions in the program. Understand this line. Any change made to the global variable will impact to all the functions in the program. Where that variable can be accessed is known as what? The global variable. Then what is a local variable here? A variable that is defined inside any function or a block is known as what? The local variable, and it can accessed only in the function or a block where it is defined and exists only till the function executes. But what happens in a global variable? It can be accessed everywhere, anywhere in the program. But here, only within that block where it is defined is known as a local variable. So these are the two variables, what we call as a scope of a variable. So next, Python standard library. We have a set of Python standard library functions. What exactly that is, let us understand. It is a collection of many built-in functions. As we discussed what exactly the built-in functions in our previous sessions we have discussed. So built-in functions which can be called as the program as and when required, thus saving the programmer's time by creating a commonly used functions every time. We call that as what? The built-in functions. Means already like we have the set of functions which can be like creating those commonly used functions every time. So to save the programmer's time creating those commonly used functions. So this we call as a built-in functions, that is a Python standard library functions we call. So what is the built-in functions? Built-in functions is a ready-made function. As I told you already, it is been there where it will save the time for the programmer. So in Python that are frequently used in programs. So let us see like which are those input or output, data type conversion, mathematical and other functions. I'll repeat it, input or output built-in functions, data type conversion and mathematical functions. And next we have like some of the other functions. Let us see. So here you are seeing some of the commonly used built-in functions what we are using in this table. Let us discuss one by one. ABS is nothing but the absolute value of x. So here in the example x can be like 4. So what is the absolute value? Again the division, that is a quotient and the remainder. The power of x, y, z and the contents it will read in a len x, and the maximum and the minimum to find the largest and the smallest. Again the minimum value, here you can see the length, what is the length of that particular value to find the patience, how many letters are there here, and power of the particular number, that is the exponential form what we call. So these are some of the built-in functions. So here in next topic we will see what is a module. As I discussed, the modularity is nothing but making a bigger program into a sub-programs. So here what is a module? A function is grouping of the instructions. While a function is a grouping of instruction, a module is a grouping of the functions. So I'll repeat it, while a function is a grouping of the instructions, a module is a grouping of the functions. So to use the module, we need to import the module. So how can we import the module? We will see the syntax to import the statement is as follows. Import module name. We need to give. So this is a syntax, and module name 2 or anything. So this is a syntax for import module name 1 and module name 2. So here we have some of the infinite loops, that is a built-in modules, and using a modules, how can we do it in function? Math, random, statistics are some of the built-in modules. Using a modules, import statistics, import random and import math. I repeat it, using modules, import statistics, import random, and import math. Now let us understand what is a module here. So the math is a built-in function, math, square root, statistics mean to find the mean of the value, random, that is to find the value again. So these are some of the built-in functions of the module here with the examples like I have given one after the other. Just you can observe here, math seal 9.7, the square root of 144, and the statistics, the mean value to find. So these we call it as what? The built-in functions of the module. So this ends this session. So let us discuss more interesting topics in the next session. Thank you.